Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in this series from Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford using Polychromos pencils. We are almost at the end of this lovely page of very random, should we say, mix of different pictures. Very cute, of course, as Johanna's always are, but interesting as well. Now this one is again very interesting because we have this little jug, magical jug, pouring a droplet of fluid, liquid, water maybe, with some mushrooms inside it. It is quite a fascinating picture, nothing I've ever coloured before. So I think we'll start with the mushrooms because I like colouring them, and so why not? I am going to grab a pompeian red and do the lower parts first. So I'm just going to put a light layer on. It's a lot of noise outside. Someone's angle grinding or something. I don't even know what angle grinding is, but it sounds like they're using some sort of power tool that's cutting through metal. And someone else is, and the dustmen are here emptying the bins. It's really noisy, but hopefully you can't hear too much of the noise coming through. I think the microphone is quite good at only picking up quite close distance. Now here is burnt carmine. I'm going to use this to put on some darker areas before I do more of the red. So here where we've got this line, we're just going to go over that with the red like that, really simply, and then the edge as well, like that. I'm also going to put some shadow underneath this top part, and the same on this one. Then I'm going to switch back to the other colour. I'm giving it a bit of a sharpen. Okay, so back to our pompeian red. We're going to expand these darker areas now. We'll go over the top of them a little bit, just make them slightly larger, but we still want to leave some lighter parts to emphasise the sort of shape to these bits of our mushroom. Like that. Hopefully that's going to work. It seems to be. There we go. Now the bit on top I tend to do a little bit lighter. I feel like it is, I don't know why, and I don't know, often they seem to be white or cream. So I'm going to use the beige red. This is the beige red, you can see by the name on the pencil. Again, I'm going to colour them in just all over with this quite lightly. And then I'm going to look at this. So we've got a line coming up here, and one coming up here, and this one on the edge. It's just going to try and sort of emphasise that shape. It might be a bit easier on this one because it's not half obscured. Still not that easy, to be honest. I don't know if it really shows, but there we go. We've got some lighter colour on there, which is what I was looking for. I think I might use this for the stem as well. If I don't like that once I've done the green, I could put a bit of grey on, but I think it's okay. Now the green colour, what's going to match? I think just the permanent green olive is going to be a nice one. We need to sharpen it. Now these loopy bits, I think they're just a bit like grass, but you could colour them as whatever you wish. I'm going to try and fade them as we go up. So layer it a little bit more in the bottom. Now when I do things underwater, which effectively this is, I would normally colour the water over the top of the item. I don't want to do that in this picture because I like the colours they are, and with this being such a subtle colour and these little gaps and things, I think it's going to spoil it. So you can still do that if you want to, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is colour around it I'm going to do that now. I think I'm going to go with this colour. This is the light cobalt turquoise. And I'm going to do all of the water with this, and I'm going to do a fairly layered up amount. So it's going to be quite a thick amount of pencil. My idea is that I'm going to put some white on top of this, so I need it to be thick enough so that the white shows up. And but I don't want to use a darker colour. I think this is quite a cute colour. I don't know if that's such a thing. In my head it is. You know, rather than something too dark and sort of scary. No, I don't know what I'm saying. I just want it to be light. But if you leave too much white paper, if you put white pen on top of your item, you can't see it. So one of the tricks of using a white pen is to make a really thick layer of pencil. So I'm actually going to go back over this again to make sure that we've got quite a thick layer. And you can see a lot of it, I'm not just going over once, I'm going back and forth quite a lot. There we go, getting almost there. And then the little drops in the same colour. Now I'm hoping that there's a bit of tooth left on the paper, because I'm going to use the cobalt turquoise around the edges to make it look a little bit less flat. So here, yeah, we've got plenty. I'm going to do that and then fade it in. I'm hoping it might just give the illusion that our water droplet isn't flat, because you imagine what a water droplet looks like. It's not flat. You can just bring in that illusion a little bit. Hopefully with this bit of colour here. We need to do the same from the bottom as well. And we'll do the same with these. I'm just going to put it on the bottom now of these, because they're smaller. There we go. I'm just going to go over that a bit more. I notice it's not gone all the way to the edge. There, that's better. I feel already that we've got a little bit of a roundedness to it. Maybe it's just because I know that's what I'm trying to do. Now, the way this jug has been drawn, it looks to me like it might be supposed to be see-through, because we've got a line sort of going around the edge as if we're looking in it. I don't want to colour it like that, because we've done a see-through things on this page already. Let's do something solid and shiny like a china jug, just so it's a little bit different. We will do our stars. I'm thinking let's not do our stars gold either. We did that yesterday and we did that on a different page. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm really confused. Suddenly flashed up on my tablet that my son's playing a game. It's supposed to be at uni. Anyway, jug. So we could go really dark blue, indothrone blue, indigo blue, and then do our stars in bright yellow. That would look quite nice. We could go pink, purpley stars, more whimsical. I think I'm going to go with the dark blue idea. Not going to go indigo though. Maybe Prussian blue. I haven't used that for ages. So use the Prussian blue. And what I'm going to do is make it darker here, like this, and then fade it towards the middle, like that, and then do the same thing from this side. It's got a slightly lighter bit in the centre. And the idea is that it looks like it's maybe a sort of shiny china. something like that. This bit I'm going to do a different colour. I almost see it as a ribbon, but maybe not. So we're going to go dark around our edge, like this. And then as we come towards the middle, we want less layers to sort of fade it through. I hope everyone's well today. I'm thinking we're getting well into November now, and it's the time of year I think when some people start feeling a little bit low because they miss the sunshine, and I find that, and you get your cold and flus and things. Now what is quite interesting I have found is that we've been told in the last couple of years in the UK that we should be taking vitamin D in the winter to allow for the fact that the sun isn't shining, because the only source of vitamin D is sunshine, and a lack of vitamin D can lower your immune system, which can potentially mean that you could get more colds and flus. So I find it quite interesting that since I've been taking vitamin D in the winter, I have definitely had less cold and flu. More COVID, but hey. Maybe I've got that instead, I don't know. So I think it's worth thinking about the vitamin D thing. We actually take it all year round because we don't go out when it's sunny, and if we do, we cover up because we don't like to catch the sun. And so anybody who does that might feel that they ought to cover up, that if they feel they like to cover up, then they might need it all the time. I'm going to use the Naples yellow to do my stars. So that I think is quite important, and although vitamin D can be quite expensive though, but I don't know if it's available on prescription for people who really need it or not. But of course, if you're taking any other medication, you need to speak to your doctor or pharmacist first. I'm certainly not a health advisor. But I just sort of letting you know what I have observed and has helped me really. I'm going to use the green gold a little bit, and I'm going to use it on the underside of this and this one, and in the points of the stars. Yeah, so talk to your GP about it, ask them if they would recommend it. I guess different countries have different ideas as well as to what might work and might not work. Right, time for some white pen. Now Johanna has drawn a load of dots along here, so let's just do that. And here I'm just going to follow her lines. As I said, originally I thought it might have meant that the jug had to be glass, but I put a bit there too. I'm also going to go around the edge of the stars. I think they look a little bit better without the black line around. It's quite fiddly work. You have to do this, and you might decide you prefer it without anyway. It's completely up to you. I remember doing this, I think, in Small Victories in one of the planet pages. I went around the edge of all the stars. They stood out a bit better, I thought. Whoops. Now our water. These water droplets need a very fine colour, so I'm going to use this white. And there and there. And then I'm going to go back to the 10. I know I'm back and forth a bit complicated. And follow some of Johanna's lines here. And what I feel might help. Let's have a look. I'm just going to look in the camera. I feel maybe a line here. just make it look a little bit more rounded. There we go. So that was really interesting and different. I enjoyed that. It's nice to do something a bit challenging and so surreal as well. But yeah, so there is that one done. We've got one more. Oh, it's a little boat. Oh, it's the cutest little boat. Have fun with that one. But for today, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please do like, subscribe and comment as well. That makes a big difference to the channel. And yeah, have a super day and happy colouring.